Once again, it is time for a news roundup here on the TJOmega YouTube channel. Not a huge one this time, but there's a few topics and stories that came up that I did want to touch on just so we can get them out of the way, just so everyone can know what my thoughts are, you know, that kind of thing. And it's actually not going to start here. It's going to start here because everyone has told me this exists. Literally everybody and their mother has been telling me about this release, which, strangely enough, I haven't even seen on most of the usual shops I go to. Like, Big Bad doesn't have a listing for this that I know of. This was only on TF Source, to my knowledge. But we're going to start here because, of course, we're going to have to. So, just really quick, of course, if you like what I do, consider dropping a buck or two in Patreon over at patreon.com/TJOmega. It helps me out a lot, keeps the channel alive. Or if you want to help out for free, hit like and subscribe on your way out. Helps me a lot too. So, this one is beautiful. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's a beautiful incarnation of my favorite Optimus Prime toy ever, my favorite Transformer toy ever. It does look like it does some different and interesting things. The fact that the cannons are slung down to the back, like they've been, like you can store them away in a little bit more conveniently. That's a nice little feature. Do like that. Truck mode looks fine. Not anything to complain about there. I am a little bit off put. I like how big and bulky Cybertron Optimus is. This one looks like he's more standard in proportions, which is relatively fine, but maybe not quite what I'm after. This more feels like the proportions that the hybrid style Galaxy Convoy had, if you remember that figure. It's not bad. I mean, it looks great. It looks great. I'm just not quite sure if it like hits the same note for me as like, oh, this is just a super good version of the classic. Also, what I liked about the original was the variety it provided in all of its various alt modes that it could form. And part of that is that the trailer could detach and you had, well, it was a very long semi-truck, but yeah, you could have a normal-looking semi-truck. The way the legs collapse into this trailer makes me feel like I can't really have this toy without that. Yeah, and it's hard to see on these shots because I can't see the sides of his legs, but I cannot see if there are wheels on the sides of his legs that would allow him to be an independent truck or not. So I have yet to see. We also, I don't see like the cannon, stationary cannon mode here yet. So I haven't made a call yet on whether or not this one's going to be something I grab. It looks nice. Don't get me wrong. It looks beautiful. I'm sure it would go great with Galaxy Meteor. But for now, I'm just sit and wait. I want more than 2 photos, and I want larger photos because these are like potato quality. I'm not sure how they got away with that. All right, but so just to get out of the way, I'm aware it looks amazing. I don't know if I want it yet. It's $170. It's a little bit of a pill to swallow. All right, now moving on to actual like news. There's not a whole lot to touch on, like I said, but I want to get a few thoughts out. For number one, Legacy's already out. People are already finding Legacy Voyagers, which is like stunning to me. Bulkhead got found. Where was Bulkhead found? In New York. So not even an East Coast find. Usually it's in California, around there where we get the first, well, West Coast find. I mean, like normally it's like California that gets the first views. No, that's actually like really cool. So that means it could potentially just be anywhere that's due for a restock, at least at Target anyway. This was found at a Target. Yeah, this is like a good 2-month jump on when these were expected to be out, or at the very least when the online orders expected them to be in stock. So be on the lookout. You might have a whole new Transformer series to pick up. Keep in mind, Bulkhead is the only new Voyager in the initial wave because they are reissuing Blaster from Kingdom. That one's actually been tricky to find, so who knows? You might need the Blaster too. But hey, Bulkhead's in the wild. Also, someone got their hands on an Iguanus. So we actually get some in-hand shots of that. Not tremendous in-hand shots of that, but hey, I'll take what I can get. First off, I have had people pointing out, like, oh, well, they're not going to be able to steal this out of this open window packaging. Like, I'm not concerned about Iguanus here. You know, his stuff is tucked away behind the tray. Only half of him is exposed. It'll be fine. It's those like tiny ones. Like I was only really referring to Ravage getting stolen right out of the box, because he was the size of the window, and I had seen someone just like find an empty box where someone had obviously just like ripped the cat out. But no, still looking good. I still like the packaging design, like the purple. He does not quite fit in with the other Pretenders that they last released. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I would like this to be a new style for adapting the Pretenders. Base it on the shell, base the robot mode on the shell, base the vehicle mode on the inner vehicle or the inner robot. That all works for me. See, he is a very doofy bike mode. We will admit that. I do think it's clever to use the tail as the seat. That's not a bad call. I'm happy that he doesn't have any, like, kibble issues. On the original Iguanus, the only thing that made Iguanus's vehicle mode look like a motorcycle was this massive hunk of plastic you stuck on the bottom of it that looked like 2 wheels and axles. It's on his back now, and it actually looks fine there. Looks fine there. So again, like, I would love for this to be like they did Straxus once upon a time as Dark Mount, and then remolded him into Skullgrin, which I thought was a great use of Skullgrin, but I would love something that looked a little bit more like the original shell. If this does well, I would love to have Pretenders at this scale. Maybe not all of them. Bludgeon, Thunderwing, those definitely be a little bit bigger, but this is the right first step. I'm really digging this. I want to get my hands on one of these. See, and more in-hand news. Someone got their hands on a Sludge, and Sludge is looking phenomenal, just like all of the Studio Series Dinobots so far. Once again, no sword. He doesn't need one, because Sludge never had a sword in the cartoon. Go get a third party or Shapeways if that bugs you that much. But yeah, he is huge, he is beefy, looks great in the Brontosaurus mode. You get a glimpse of how he transforms. He's actually quite like most of the well, I would say most. There's 2. Like let's use Slug. Like Slug. The transformation is a lot more involved than I expected it to be. This is actually really cool and refreshing to see. I was really worried he'd just be a massive ball of kibble. And he does have some kibble. The wings are accurate to how he's always looked. I like how it folds away the front vehicle mode. He folds away the front legs of the beast mode onto his back. That's something the original toy or other iterations of this character never did. They were just like, if you've never played with a Sludge, usually the front beast legs are like the upper half of his robot mode arms, and the rest of it is just tucked underneath. You just fold it out to create the robot arms. Doesn't look like it does in the cartoon. Doesn't match with the rest of the Dinobots. Here, he basically has, you see how tiny those are? He basically has faux beast mode legs in his robot mode in order to complete the look and the transformation. That's actually really cool. That's actually really cool, the way that is engineered. So yeah, there's a lot going right on this figure. There's a lot going right. Man, God, the Studio Series Dinobots, the leader class Dinobots have been so good. There's whispers of Swoop being a Voyager. I hope they are wrong. I hope he's just like a small leader class or something, because like I really want him to come out as good as all these guys. I want him to be in scale. But so far, we got the original trio. And the original trio is looking fantastic. So good on you, Hasbro. Good on you. These look really nice. Alright, so we had a rumor pop up that we're going to put to bed once upon a time. So, Hasbro had a trademark for Equestron. See, it was originally filed June 17, 2020, but granted an extension on November 10th, 2021. So it is an active trademark right now. Now, people got speculating about this. Is this going to be like a My Little Pony crossover? Because the title Equestron does make it sound like we're going to see, like, in my head, it was like a retooling of, like, Fall of Cybertron Metroplex, or like one of the city bots, like one of the Titan class city bots, as like a crystal castle for ponies to run around in. That's what it sounds like, doesn't it? Which, admittedly, would kind of be incredible. But no, it's not what this is. It's not an impending crossover figure. It is not any kind of weird thing. No, Equestron is a Micronauts trademark. Thank you for TF Wiki for pulling up this nice picture of Equestron, a realized motorized galloping stallion and chariot used with all Micronaut registered trademark and other 3 3/4 inch posable figures. Hasbro has been trying to get some of those old franchises off the ground. Remember that period in like late in IDW 1.0's Transformer run where they just threw like all of these old Hasbro and Kenner lines at the wall to see what's stuck? Like here's some mask characters and like a mask side series. Here's Rom. You guys remember Rom? You know, like who else? Let's try Centurions. We could do Centurions. We do like, you see, we did Micronauts. Where's like the Visionaries? Has everyone done Visionaries yet? It's just like that period where like literally every crossover they could think of and that they could legally do was done all at once. So this is left over from that. Why it's still active is a mystery. If Hasbro is still trying to get the Micronauts back into the public forefront, who knows? They're definitely trying. If they're actively filing extensions, they're definitely trying something. So we just wait and see. On the micro news that did actually happen, we actually finally got to figure out what those Micro Machine Transformers were. And what they are basically blind box play sets. You basically buy this folded up set of panels, or a little boxy thing. It unfolds into a play set like you see here, like a quick little pit stop racetrack kind of thing going on. You can see they're all modular. So you'd be able to combine more of them together, which is cool. And yeah, they have a chance of including Transformer characters. And I hate things like this. So like Adventure Racing Truck or Cliff Jumper. Optimus Prime or Megatron. Okay, normal, Nemesis Prime or Sideswipe. Private Jet or Starscream. I hate when they do this. Now, fortunately, they're numbered. So you can actually tell which set you are going to get, though I'm not sure you can actually tell. I'm not sure you can actually tell which vehicle you're going to get. Well, okay, based on the playset code and number at the bottom of the packaging, we know which characters come in each box. Okay, good. Okay, good. So just follow these numbers, whichever one's on the bottom. That's the character you're getting. If you only want the Transformer ones, and it's weird to me that it'd be mixed in. Why would they mix in like all of these like random characters that nobody know, all these random vehicles in your Transformer mystery packs? It makes no sense. I don't know. It's weird. It's a really weird way of doing it. You'd think you just want the Transformers to be what you get, and that'd be the forefront of your product release, right? Nope. I don't. But still, they're out in the wild. They're out in the wild if you miss your Micro Machines. I find irony in the fact that once upon a time, Transformers shifted their entire branding to compete with Micro Machines, and now Micro Machines is making Transformers by license. It's an ironic world we live in these days. Let's continue on with a little bit of Japanese toy import news. So Nendoroid is doing G1 Transformer characters. If you don't know a Nendoroid, it is a Japanese super deformed action figure line. Once upon a time, they were doing figures that had interchangeable parts, where you in order to get poses, you'd take arms off and you'd put new arms on, and that did keep it from looking like broken up. You wouldn't have any joints or any cuts in it for articulation. But what it would have is a ton of leftover parts. Like, I've literally bought some Nendoroids where it felt like I could build an entire other figure if I just had one, like, extra torso. But these days they're going with more articulated figures, which is nice to see. A little bit more logical in my opinion. So Starscream is here. We have the smirk. We have a screaming face, which is quite appropriate for him. It's a nice little cute rendition. This isn't like something I would necessarily collect. I'm not terribly into the super deformed look. There's only a couple Nendoroids that I collect, and it's because they actually make sense for the style. You know, Mega Man's Nendoroid just kind of looks like Mega Man. Wind Waker Link has a Nendoroid, and it just looks like Wind Waker Link. That's the kind of thing that I go for in the Nendoroids. But these are hilariously expressive. I do like how much you can get out of them for their small size. So Nendoroids tend to run pretty expensive, but then again, what doesn't these days? But actually at 55 bucks, I've seen much more expensive Nendoroids. I've paid more for Nendoroids than that. So, hey, more collectibles, more things. And hey, if you like the Funko big head look, this one actually does stuff. Speaking of, I'm going to end off on this, and I don't even like talking about this or giving this any attention, but I feel like I have to make some kind of comment on it, because it is major news. So Funko and Transformers are teaming up to do an NFT package. So, NFTs. No, God. Even if we put aside the part where they're hideous for the environment because they take so much energy to generate and maintain, we're also in this really creepy style of NFT in this century because it's just like, ugh. But even then, like, NFTs feel like a pyramid scheme where you talk somebody into buying them, they buy them, and then they get other people to buy them. But there's no end game where these things flip and turn a profit. Because 1, they're so easily stolen. 2, they're just JPEGs, and 3, there's so many, and so few of them actually would have any kind of demand. Like everything NFT feels like a scam. Literally every aspect of an NFT feels like a scam. And Funko is now doing digital ones for Transformers, and guess what? They found a way to make this even scummier, because not only is this NFT, this is NFT loot box. This is loot box NFT. You get a pack of 5 digital pops, and they kind of look like this. They're just trading cards. That's all they are. They're just like digital trading cards. They're pictures. They are pictures. And like, look, see these pictures here? This is exactly what you got. You can screen cap this video, upload this to your whatever, and it's exactly the same as the NFT you bought. It'll be a little bit smaller, but you can still enjoy the artwork off of these. But what's more disgusting to me, aside from just they're selling you digital junk for ridiculous prices for how paltry and pathetic it is, but also there's a chance they come in different rarities, and there is a chance if you get a legendary or grail rarity out of these packs, you know, you're basically your Black Charizard. You'll be able to trade it in for a physical version of the pops, and you'll be able to trade it into, you know, for like actual like rare Funko Pops that actually exist and will actually be worth money. And those you see here. So we got a Gold Prime, 999 pieces, 1,500 or so for Devastator. Likewise for Hot Rod and Rumble. And, oh, they took a stance on that Rumble. They took a stance on the coloring there. And then Sideswipe, and then Freddy Funko as Bumblebee. And in my experience, even though this is 2,000, this is probably going to be one of the most valuable ones of the set, because Freddy Funko collectors spend a lot. Like, and that's actually kind of a big deal. So, yeah. It pains me that very valuable and sought-after Funko Pops are going to be done in this style, and they're going to be released this way. Like, seriously, the only way I can get a Hot Rod Funko Pop is going to be to pay $9.99 or $24.99 or $29.99, excuse me, basically be able to pay $2 per chance. And by the way, the chances, can we take a look at the chances? So there's a 1.72% chance. So less than 1 in 50 chance. So essentially you could buy 50 of these things. You could buy 50 of these things. You could drop $100, and even then you're only like at even odds to actually have pulled a legendary. And keep in mind, they're limited. They are limited. Once they distribute, 1,550, they're done. That's it. And then you're out, and then that's it. And then guess what? These are not going to be the cards themselves. The hundreds of cards. Yeah, they're going to be just like all of these. There's going to be like all these. They're just going to be bulk sitting there that were so common that no one else is going to want them, so they're not going to gain in any value. The only ones will be the rare physical versions, which you have to get super lucky to get. Hey, the Grail, the Optimus Prime, there's around 1 in 200 chance. No, not even that. Not even that. It's like 1 in 4, like around 1 in 400 chance you pull the Optimus Prime so you can get this one. It's a disgusting marketing strategy. And cheers to the TFW 2005 board for being like universally against this, because this is like the most inane, stupid, rip-off, like scammy, scummy thing I've ever seen Transformers do. They launch tomorrow, and I am begging everyone, do not go in on these. Do not support this. Do not feed this beast. Tell them that this is not what they should be doing. Tell them that this is the wrong way to go about this. Tell them not to do this NFT crap by not doing anything. Don't buy it. I promise you, there are plenty other Funkos that will come out. There are plenty other rare Transformer pieces that will come out. You don't need every single one, and you don't need these. Nobody needs these. So there we go. This is my statement on all of that. Thank you guys for watching today's news roundup. I'm sorry it had to include that crap. We talked about Galaxy Prime. We talked about this guy. That was fun. Remember those times back when we were having fun at this video and didn't have to talk about scammy crap? But hey, at least it's out. At least it's out there. At least we're done, and we never have to think about it again. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for watching this long, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.